Mr. McClintock from California, you're recognized. Fire away.
Well, thank you. I'd like to direct this to Sheriff Lauterbach, but also invite everyone to offer your thoughts as well. The most chilling words I've heard on this tour came from a Border Patrol agent who said, "Our border is your border. The problems we're facing here are going to show up in your communities in the very near future." The impact on schools, your kids coming home and saying, well, we didn't really accomplish very much because we had 6 non-English speakers in the classroom, and that's where the teacher had to put all of her attention, so we didn't do much. The impact on public safety. My assessment is that Biden's executive order on returning criminal illegals, deporting them after they've served their terms, now essentially makes the United States a sanctuary nation. So the impact on community safety, the impact on hospitals as people seek attention in emergency rooms and find they're flooded with illegals demanding services. What can we, from your experience, what can we expect to be happening in our communities as these hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens are released into them? And Sheriff, I'll start with you because you deal with it at the ground level.
Well, Representative, you well said, and I appreciate the vision on that. But the infrastructure here in Texas, in Texas, there's 190 counties here that are below 50,000 population. So we're a rural state here in Texas. So the impact in our medical, I'll just give you an example. 2 weeks ago in neighboring Lavaca and Victoria County, where there were 2 horrific crashes where people were pulled from burning a burning vehicle. There were more than likely 12 illegals that were in that were being smuggled in. Several were life flighted to Houston. We had another horrific crash there with a group of illegals that resulted in more hospitalization stays. The logistics there, 2.5 weeks ago, I got a call from the Border Patrol agent in charge in Corpus saying, "Sheriff, I'm sorry, but we have no more resources for Border Patrol." So you have to ask yourself, as a Texas community, as a Texas county, those resources are what are we going to do with a group of illegals here? It's irresponsible for law enforcement to leave them in the communities. We can't do that. I've offered the solution. Can you meet me halfway? I mean, what can we do to partner with you to do this? Because it's not just going to be Border Patrol at ICE that takes care of this. It's going to be all hands on deck for a mass invasion of folks who are coming in here by policy. And so the concerns of the public, what I talked about earlier, are very real. And so what do we do? What do Texas counties do? What do mayors of cities do when chases occur in their cities? Chases occur on the major highways and then bail off into property with property owner damage that we've had. There's very unlikely that anyone gets paid back on any of those things. There are no real policies that this isn't all lawful behavior that's going on. I mean, we already have laws in place about it.
What's this doing to the schools and the community hospitals?
The infrastructure, if you're a school here in Texas, you're a 3A classification school here, and you've got 1,000 students, and on one Monday, you've got 200 additional students, then as a school board member and as superintendent of the schools, what are you going to do? We don't have a building. We're going to have to go get a portable building. We're going to have to manufacture some teachers. These are all stress things that require planning, strategy. You don't just put those things together in a matter of hours to try to continue the education process.
What's it doing to your healthcare system?
Well, in small rural health districts, which are taxing entities in Texas, they have their own taxing structure there, but they're not set up for that. There are 12 beds in the hospital district in Jackson County. So you'll quickly, they're not set up. Those people will be sent to Houston or Victoria, seriously injured or sent there. So those are all resources. Those are all square box ambulances or life flight services that are employed now routinely to take care of these things. These are all additional costs that we have. So all stretched resources that we don't have and are not used to being supplied on something that has come about from a policy change.
Mr. Judd, as these illegal immigrants are being released, do they stay on the Texas border or do they migrate across the country?
They do not. Most of the people that cross the border illegally are going to interior states. They're going.
So everything that Sheriff Lauterbach just described is coming to a community near us. In fact, is coming to our community.
It is.
In the very near future.
Speaking on personal experience, I mean, anecdotal evidence is great, but I'd rather go off of personal experience. As an actual Border Patrol agent who goes out, puts on a uniform, and patrols the border, I have the opportunity to speak with these individuals that I take into custody. And when you ask them, questions of why they're coming, they'll flat out tell you that they're coming because they understand that there are free benefits here in the United States.
And as I understand it, anyone who claims that they are under 18 is admitted to the country and held by CBP first and then transferred over to HHS until they can arrange travel to the individual sponsor, often a family member who's themselves an illegal alien. Is that correct?
That is correct. Unaccompanied children must be transferred to HHS. We cannot send them back.
So the 18,000 youths that are currently being held in the system are not the same 18,000 that we had 2 or 3 weeks ago. This is throughput that we're measuring, not the total numbers.
So there are going to be some of those 18,000 we had 2 weeks ago. But yes, we're continuing to add on to that, and we're continuing to release people. So yes, they continue
And did
to
I
add.
also understand that if a family crosses the border illegally in the Rio Grande Valley and has in their company a child under 7, they're immediately transferred into the interior?
For the most part, there are some cases that they will be flown to El Paso and expelled in El Paso because of the laws of Matamoros. I believe that's the state directly south of here.
But generally speaking,
But yes,
bring a young child,
generally speaking,
you'll-
yes. If you have a child that is under the age of 7, you will most likely be released into the United States pending a future court hearing.
So the question occurs, do we have much of a border left?
No,